Hey everybody, this is Netflix playing Hawken and doing everyone's favorite mode, Siege. So we're gonna start off with a match that I'm sure you're all familiar with. It's that horrible crushing defeat. Fortunately, this one's gonna be a little bit worse than normal because we got somebody spouting off heresy. But we'll do our best, and that's what you should always do. When you're assaulting the AA, that's exactly where we're going to start. Yeah, look at that, attack the ship. Wonderful advice, isn't it? Wrong. Tell your teammates that is wrong. It's okay to tell them that's wrong. But you're going to start out attacking the AA in a lot of situations, and that's okay. Just understand that you need to go from the front and from the sides. It's important that your entire team focuses it, so if you're doing this by yourself, be in a place where you can get away quickly and stay alive. Once some people realize that it's good to focus the AA, then you can start switching up your locations, but again, from the sides and from the front, hopefully your team is on the opposite side. Apply the pressure, and here we see the great effects of the tow rocket, so it's important to practice your air detonations as well. Don't miss your jumps. The edges of the roadway up there are slanted, so if you hit them right, you'll boost up and you won't fall down. So just practice that a little bit, you'll get it down. If you need to run, it's okay to run straight through, especially when you know that most of them are crowded on the AA. Hopefully that'll distract them, get some of them pulled away, and to help your teammates get some kills. Don't ever stop boosting down here, especially if you're low. You know, I got really lucky that nobody pursued me this far. Shot a rocket just in case right there, in case somebody was coming around the edge. And I get to what should be a relatively safe place to heal, then I notice right in front of me, oh man, somebody just dropped down. Luckily they're low health, and this is the only good shooting I have so far. And I get the rocket off. So half hit point versus half hit point means I win, and then I get finished off by the guy. Should not have gone left there, just gone straight up. But apply the pressure at the AA, definitely. Continue rotating around, try not to stay all grouped up next to your teammates because of the AoE coming in. The other team is going to realize that they should shoot their rockets in, they should throw their items. So don't get too close together like we were there. Boost completely away from the side, they're going to stay the front and maintain that frontal assault, and then come around the back doing extra damage to the C-class, especially when it's in turret mode. And here we go, running straight through the AA, just like we did the other time. Instead of going through the team side though, we came back to our way. The enemy team side came back our way. And when you go to heal, make sure you get behind the wall back there, those fuel tank looking things, the bubbles. Don't stop anywhere before that. Usually very dangerous if the enemy team is anywhere near advanced near your base, because they'll chase you down and kill you very quickly. Again, when you're defending the A, continue moving around. As soon as you see somebody who should be your target, focus fire. You see everybody's taking that one guy out in front, the CT recruit. This Reaper's going to have pretty good movement speed. Nobody's going to be able to focus him just right, I guess, lagging out or bad latency, something like that. And this is why you chase kills. You absolutely have to chase kills, because if he was allowed to recover, he probably would have come around from a flanking side and taken out a bunch of people from long distance first. And by the time we reacted to him, his team would have captured the AA, and bad things would have happened. So this is starting off pretty well. We're putting the pressure where it needs to be. See again me jumping out there trying to catch the edge of the road. Luckily I see somebody down here get a tow rocket on the wall, so it does good damage, and then a second one to finish up. Luckily defending my team from the back, but I see that there's a lot of enemies. It's important to always watch your radar, and once you see that there are a larger number of them than you, it's time to back up. You can still stay within the AA radius. In the back over here, you've still got a wall worth of protection between you and them, and you're still counting as a vote in that counter. So my ally back there decided to heal completely wide in the open, not even standing in the range. So it was 1 versus 4, now it's 1 to 6. So as soon as you see numbers like that happening, you should be backing up, but I'm just feeling a little crazy because I don't see why the rest of my team isn't there, and finally backing up. Unfortunately, this guy decides to stay up front as a technician. You should never do that. You should always be behind someone as a technician. you can heal and fire your weapon at the same time. So always stay behind somebody as kind of a human shield, and you can heal them and yourself at the same time. Kind of like the medic in Team Fortress 2, and with the overcharge, it's really great. So here we go. Getting back now to talk to that guy, trying to explain, why do you think they're on the structure? Why do you think they're up here? So 300 points later, the battleship gets destroyed. Now we're down to a pretty significant disadvantage points-wise. The battleships are down. There's no point in being at the AA, so I'm going to back up and deposit my energy, hopefully giving us a significant lead in the countdown. The reason you want to deposit your energy, even if it's just a little bit, you don't have to get full energy at all. You definitely just want a significant advantage because it'll count it down on its own. And if you properly engage the enemy and deny them getting energy from the fountains, then after ticking down for a while, your battleship will launch and you'll be in a good position to defend the AA, because hopefully you've been suppressing them at the fountains, and then you can carry that over through to the AA. So here we are, keeping our eyes up constantly, keeping in mind that they're going to be trying to get energy as well. We need to be looking out for people coming into the fountain, doing our best to defend it, moving around. I know there's a predator on the team, potentially, the enemy team, so I'm doing my best to keep moving, running back, depositing the energy, they're depositing. I'm asking my team to go to the AA, only have one person drop off energy, so that way we don't launch the battleship when they launch theirs, but we still have a pretty good amount taken out of our countdown, so that when we hopefully destroy their battleship, we can launch ours quickly. There you go. You see that we would have had about 100 something energy, not accounting for the person who just deposited theirs. So if that last person hadn't deposited their energy, we would have had about 100 something left, and that's a good amount to have to defend a battleship, because the countdown stops. So here I am, just doing my best to inspire my team, and one of our guys overextended, got way too far up, and they paid for it. So trying to now, again, inspire my team to push up further, get within the radius. Hopefully, it's only 2v2. Finally, we're 3v2, and again, it goes down to 2. So I'm just kind of frustrated at this point, since the enemy is doing the same thing, and we just need one more person to get within the radius of the circle, and we'll be in control of the AA. But that doesn't happen, unfortunately. So I'm seeing that people are low health in the back, trying to shoot the rockets all the way, down the farthest line of sight that I have, and I should not be dashing into the wall like that. So that's bad positioning on my part. Backing up to heal, because I know I'm not going to get the support I need from my team. I don't know who this guy is talking about, but I guess he's talking about the Predator on the other team. I'm not sure, but he's just doing a bunch of talking and not really focusing on what the game is telling him to do, I guess. I'm not totally sure. Finally he decides to move up, I think, right now with these guys. Always pay attention to try and use your rocket at the most advantageous time. I saw that guy was low health, took a chance, took him out, and then we got the Reaper thanks to just the regular fire from me, and then the right clicks from my teammate. So we should be at an absolute advantage there. You saw we were 4-0, but unfortunately we lose that advantage. So battleships are blown up. If you see something within a jump height, you can totally get it. It's easy to absorb those little orbs very quickly. But you just have to do your absolute best to maintain control of the AA. Otherwise, any advantage that you have goes away. Right now, we have a battleship launched. We have control of the AA. We should be at a complete advantage right now. So things are looking okay. I'm going to back off down one of these side tunnels. These are good places for flanking the AA. You can come down these, come from the side. You can also infiltrate the enemy base. They're basically symmetrical. The yellow lines on the walls will indicate where the jump points are. And it's a good way to go to flank. Here we see me failing to jump again, trying to get some damage on a person I see. Fortunately not catching them in time, shitty aiming. So here we go, trying to engage again, jumping off, going down to the second level this time. I dash, boost across, and come up from the other side. There's 3 of them there, so I'm just going to do my best to break the line of sight and get out of the way. There you go. You see, applying decent pressure. This guy just gonna run in and tank everything, I guess. There were much more of them in there than we expected, I suppose, or they had much better lines of sight. Yeah, it turned into 4 now. So keep in mind, if you're playing a turret, I guess, to go into turret mode and advance slowly, keep your back against a wall. You'll see really good turret players do this. They'll be completely backed up into a corner and then drop the turret. Hopefully their teammates are around as well, and you'll see just insane amounts of damage. If you see your teammates being ridiculous like that, go ahead and just jump in front of them. Don't be too bad. Just try and jump and guide their vision elsewhere. So again, battleships launch. We have the AA. This shows you what will happen once the turrets are taken out and the engines are left. The battleships will basically just drift towards each other, and whichever team decides to shoot at the battleship then and control the AA will be doing the most damage. I believe they're going to take ours out first, unfortunately, just because it's at such low armor rating, and again, because we control the AA, we should be able to take theirs out relatively quickly, but it finally goes down. So that'll show you how important the advantage is. Again, chasing down these side tunnels, chasing one person, engage with another. There's lots of tight corners and close walls, so it's great to shoot a rocket in, and you'll generally get a lot of damage off that way. When you use the jump pads, when you actually have an advantage, I was protecting that Gamel guy from a lot of damage right there. Unfortunately, he does not get off the AA. But whenever you're using the jump pad, it's important to look around and check for vision of enemies that might be trying to walk up onto the AA and not appear on radar. So this is the point that I snap. I finally come up with the words to tell him, and then as if he reads my mind and knows I'm about to say something, he pops off with that. So I have the perfect response already typed up, and just unbelievable sometimes the losses that you can get, and it's frustrating, but you just have to deal with it and fight to the end, practice your 1v1, see how many people you can take on at the same time, practice chasing kills, explore different areas of the maps, whatever. Just make it worth it, and try not to abandon unless you're absolutely certain it's just going to be a crushing 3,000 point loss that you just can't stand. But really, just try and play to the end, and eventually you'll come across a match that's great. Eventually you'll come across a match where you get a perfect score, and then it's going to be really worth it. You'll be like, man, I feel sorry for these guys because I beat them so badly, but you know what, it was coming for me. So here we are in last eco, and the energy fountains are very close together in this map. One of them is higher than the other, and so it's important to secure both of them at the same time. This is a very potentially one-sided map because of that, and it's important to maintain proper positioning at all times. Do your best to move if you're sniping from long range, because there are generally easy paths to get around, but the map is very large, so it does take time to cover those distances. Here I'm going to show my lack of skill. I think that battleship launching is him dying. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I realized it too late, and I get taken. So that was a bad play on my part. But once your battleship is launched, it's very easy to get from the base to the AA. There you go. You see a peak down on the right, and here's a high vision area that you want to be at initially. And if it looks all clear, you can drop down depending on if you're a good C class or B class. You want to be really careful if you're in A class, because of the amount of fire that's going to be concentrated on the pyramid, and it's very easy to get caught out and just absorb a ton of damage that you weren't expecting to be coming from all directions. Because of this, it's also very important to be careful when you heal and try and do your best to maintain vision at all times. Sniping is going to be coming constantly. People are going to be walking up these rocks and not showing up on radar. They're going to boost at the last possible second to get up that jump, and then you'll only see them then if you're really paying attention. A lot of the time you're not going to see them at all. They're going to get some free shots off on you. It's very important to learn how to boost and dash over the top of the pyramid and get around the AA. That way you can get out of their line of sight, get down to a lower position that hopefully the rest of their team can't see you at, and then hopefully from there get away or get to a place where you can heal. It's very, again, important to practice your air burst on the pyramid. People use it to launch constantly. Boosting and then jumping up the pyramid will give you a great height advantage and a good momentum advantage as well. There we are now, launching off the top of the pyramid, trying to get the best height advantage we can. That's very dangerous sometimes if there are lots of enemy snipers that haven't been taken out, but we have been killing quite a few of them in this little fight, so I know that it's generally safe. There shouldn't be a significant number of them up there. Most of them should be on the ground. So here we go, taking out 3 of them at least. That's kind of the minimum number you want before you try and heal, and of course stay on the back side of the pyramid from where they would be coming from. On all of these siege maps, I guess I haven't mentioned this, the small indicator on the map, the house-shaped pentagon, is where the base is, obviously. And it's important not to chase too far in this direction because of course there are base defenses, and one teammate was just taken out, two teammates were just taken out, and yeah, it's important not to chase too far because they will obliterate you very quickly and for no reason at all. So your team will be disadvantaged greatly. Alternatively, if you can get the enemy to chase you into your base defenses, that's a great way to get some free kills and then turn the tide into a push. So this is how important it is to use your rockets when you're strafing up to the energy fountains. You always want to be trying to apply pressure in the direction of the enemy base. They're going to be coming from there, and again, there are wide open areas, direct paths all the way across this map, and so it's very easy to project fire and shoot rockets, shoot your long range guns all the way across the map. Watching now for the enemy, we're trying to assault them on the AA. Again, you have to start from far and go in close then. Once you know that at least one of them is down, or you see that their snipers are getting low health, people need to heal, something like that. That first rocket is going to be terrible, but the second one connects and we get a kill. Finally being patient and closing out with that one. Again, it's important to just try and defend one face of the pyramid. Ideally, you just focus on staying on that side and defending it really, and that'll give you a good grounding reference point. One of my teammates got taken out. I should not have tried to continue flying for so long. Should have dropped much sooner. But I get this kill, and then a second one. Unfortunately, my aim is terrible, like I said, so this could have ended a lot sooner, and then I could have been able to get away. Tons of missed shots, but we get that kill, and then a little bit of distance. Again, just trying to fight around the pyramid, but realize how many people are around you. It's potentially worth it to take out 2 people if it's only you dying, I guess, but don't put another teammate in a bad position to go in 2v3 and then die, and then leave them to die as well. Definitely try and keep that in mind. Here we are again, gathering energy and just trying to put suppressive fire down towards the enemy side. Again, the opposite colored pentagon is what you want to keep your eye on, and just keep focused down that direction the furthest you can see, and project whatever kind of power that you can. Cover is very important. There's this little missile silo in the middle. You can use that, of course, to strafe around and jump around there. It's got a pretty good height to it, so you can, when you're jumping and flying, you can float around it. There are trees that can obscure people's vision. They won't know where you went. You can change direction or drop straight down potentially, and that'll give your teammates to close in on them. Here we are fighting on the pyramid again. One of my teammates just died. 2 people are coming over the pyramid now, and I realize that there's no good position for me, so I'm backing off now, going to the closest cover that I can, and knowing that I got 1 rocket connect, that I realized that they were probably at a very low hit points, And so I jump up on the sniping position that I keep telling you to keep an eye out for, and you see why it's so dangerous. Get a double kill right there, and then do enough damage to assist with the third. And just like that, I jump on the pyramid, and being a vote in the AA, so I can either help my teammates or do my best to stay alive as well. Again, realize what you're up against. I see one guy in the distance, but I'm at too low hit points already to do anything, so I finish up the kill, and I guess just try and get a couple shots off. Again, 3 versus me and then 2 other people, trying to just be safe because I know I'm the only one who's close up to the line. Rotating around, they're sweeping, and just do your best to change positions, and again, sweeping back and forth over the pyramid. That way they don't have a direct line of sight. Keep that up, and you'll keep control of the AA. Here we are in the wreckage now. We are on that side directly. I don't know why he came from there, but that was a bad move on his part, very close to the base defenses. And shooting up that hill on the scrap metal side is very easy, and it's very difficult to come from that side forward. So it's ideal if you're coming from that side to get to the AA early. That way you can lock it down and project into the more organic side with that swamp cave over there and this hill going directly up this way. People will try and shoot down there. There's also another location up and to the left. We'll see a little bit later. But really, maintain your distance. There's plenty of cover down in the AA area, and shoot your rockets, shoot your long-range guns. And if you take out a C-class like that, feel free to run up on the only one left, and then try and help your teammates. See, again, it is very easy to get up into this completely open area. The base defenses are just to the left over there, beyond that raised platform. If you get hit in this situation, go ahead and back off and heal. That's the best thing to do, because you're going to end up dying. And so when you respawn, this is how close it is to the energy fountains. You can see that it's a pretty good distance to get to them, and the map being symmetrical like it is, the enemy will have an equal distance to get there, but that means that they could have enough time to be wandering through to your side. Smart people are going to be walking, not showing up on radar, so they could be stalking you around these tight corners just like this. These are great for engaging it potentially if you get your hits off really well. I take a ton of damage there, but I end up getting the kill, so that was good for me. If somebody comes up behind you, don't accidentally burst down towards them. I'm so glad that they changed the camera angle after healing now. It's going to prevent me from doing stupid things like that. But down that ramp is a safe place to heal usually. If you get far enough away from everybody, just keep an eye out on your radar. So again, here we are going from the base to the AA, and you see that it's completely wide open relative to them. There's a predator off to the right. I caught a glimpse of him, and I'm just doing my best to look out right now, dodge for whatever reason, and made that a pretty easy kill for us. That was a little bit of cover that's furthest up on the right side that he tried to hide at. Fortunately, it was on our side of the map, so that's not good for him. It's a good cover spot. Here's the upper position. It's very easy to project straight down this very narrow corridor. So if you've got something like a point D Vulcan, you want to rush up and be over the crest of the hill. That way you can just apply straight power. They won't have anywhere to duck or hide behind. Here's the swamp cave that you want to look out for. There are about 2 or 3 exits out that way towards the enemy base. They will all spawn and come from different firing angles potentially. If the enemies are playing smart, they'll come one from the ramp where Forever is right now, and one will come from this cave, one will come from the top left, and they'll be difficult to hit because they're all split up, and they'll be able to dash in and out of their cover that they have, which there is at least a lip near each one of those locations, but it's relatively shallow and doesn't provide a lot of mobility past that. If you're playing on that side, it's important to keep in mind that these dips and alcoves don't provide a whole lot of cover, so once you duck in there, you need to be you need to be walking out to the side a little bit and be prepared to duck further back into your base at all times, because the enemy will run up there very often and just throw everything they have. Then you'll be trying to back up, but there's a giant rock formation that you can't get behind. Again, practicing air bursts, the short ramps up to this side of the map make great launching positions. The only disadvantage that the scrap metal side has, again, is that it's wide open, and they do have a higher approach, but it's similar to the other side of the map as well. That it's very narrow and very easy to get shot at straight down a tunnel, basically. We are dropping off energy. Again, trying to give our team a significant number advantage. That way, while it slowly ticks down, we can hopefully try and deny them energy, which is what we're doing absolutely amazing right here. Standing right in between the fountains and engaging anyone that tries to come close enough to them. They're backing off, being smart, not dying, but they're also unable to get energy at all. So if you maintain that, you can hopefully get a perfect game. Here we are on Frontline. This is one of the other pretty straightforward siege maps. It's slightly more difficult to deny energy on this map because the distances from the fountains are basically all the way across the map. One team can go to one, the enemies can go to the other, and they'll never see each other. Because of this, it's important to consider splitting up into teams of 3 if you have 6 on a team. But if you don't have great communication, that's understandable to not want to do that. Just do your best to stick together because the map is so huge, and you could get ambushed at any time. This person is not going to realize that all of us are up there, so they're going to get taken out pretty quickly. Playing a very aggressive technician this game, just because I was very close to getting my Hawken's rifle. It's important to come around the back of the AA pretty often. It's the easiest way to get surprised when you're defending, and the bottleneck makes it easy for enemies to duck out and avoid damage. Also makes it very difficult for you to potentially get them out of that area. Here we are staying as 3, basically sweeping the perimeter. I'm gonna try and stay back as much as I can because I know this technician is super fragile. And that's the direction you want to assault the AA from, the upper position that way, coming from the E2 fountain basically. There are lots of positions to duck behind and change direction out of from there. Here we are trying to stay as far back from the enemies as we can while still being in the middle of the bunker. That way we have as many options in and out as we can. Lots of pillars as well. There's a C-class up there. I'm gonna do the smart thing and not get totally killed. I'm gonna back very far away right now because I realize that somebody might chase, and if I can get them to chase away from the A, that'll give us a numbers advantage. Here we go again, roaming is 3, catching out people. And you see it's a very, very fast fight, and now anybody that we run into is potentially going to be at a disadvantage because there's one more person that's not going to be able to assist them. Here's a slightly more risky thing to do. If you see that they are being caught out one by one, you can try and engage, be a duo. This is much more risky, of course, because of the need to repair. If you don't know what your teammates' items are, because you're playing with random people, this is a very risky thing to do. I figured, I'm doing a technician, I can keep us healed, might as well try it. So we do this, and we do stay down this corridor for a very long time. This is one place where random encounters can happen. This map is huge. There are just too many places that you can accidentally bump into somebody at. And my teammate figures, he's got a technician, so we'll go see what we can do. I'm unfortunately gonna bump into him right there. We are gonna get this kill, but I'm gonna do the stupid thing and extend way too far. So he's already headed back, and I am gonna get caught out. There was this one bump right there, might have survived. But anyway, the last fighting tactic that matters in frontline is dealing with the bridges. Enemies will jump over them, you can jump over them, just be on the opposite side of the bridge and you can be right above another person or below them. It's very easy to change elevation on those bridges, so that's a great way to make it more difficult for somebody to hit you. And anytime you're going to repair back here, you want to make sure that that bottleneck is clear. You see, just as soon as my teammate ran down that way, he started getting fired at. If I was going to repair there by myself, the enemy might have come out that way by themselves and taken me out very quickly. So I hope these tips have been useful, and if you can apply them and win some Siege games, let me know. And I hope you guys have a good game.